Ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and it's time for this past week's The Gaga on Drinks and Drag. With the resident Papi Chulo, Remy. Come get your face beat by the one and only drag beauty queen, Lindsay Aguilera. And the one and only troublemaker himself, Kris Avalon. So grab a drink and come on in, because the lounge is open 24/7.
Hola! Welcome to a brand new episode of Drinks and Drag. This is episode 13 of Drinks and Drag, by the way. I am your host and moderator, Kris Avalon, and yes, it's another exciting episode where, panel show where three of us, myself, Remy, and Lindsay, will be spilling the latest tea and things going on in hot topics, pop culture, LGBT news, you name it, we talk about it if it's interesting. And we love the fact that those of you who also tune in get to interact and comment on a lot of the topics that we're talking about as well. So thank you all that are tuning in right now for this brand new episode of Drink and Drag. So without further ado, let's bring in our fellow panelists, starting off with my girl, Lindsay Aguilera, who turns out new looks in every episode. Bring on in. Let's see what look she's giving tonight.
Hi,
yes,
everyone. Hello. It's a thing. People love the brunette. I love blondes, but I gotta always bring in a brunette every other episode because
I like when you go brunette, but I was living for the previous way that you were on the last.
Thank you.
I was definitely living for that one. But I'm living for this one as well. And of course, we should bring in our fellow resident Papi Chulo and drag race connoisseur. Like, if you don't want to know anything about other drag race and this and the other, he got you on the tee, among other things. So let's bring in our I was going to say resident and fellow panelist, Remy.
Hey. Felt like I haven't seen y'all in so long.
I know, right? I'm fly as chair. But anyway, everybody's ready to get into this gig. We all well energized and ready to go.
Sure. Yes, let's do this.
Mm-hmm. So we're not going to keep you guys waiting long. We're just going to get right into these topics because there's a lot of topics we want to get to, and we would like to stay in our regular time frame of how this show goes. We're doing good so far, so let's keep it up. So the GLAAD Media Awards was dropped recently, and I have to say this is the most diverse I've seen this list of people who are nominated for awards. So the nominees have been announced for the 33rd Annual GLAAD Media Awards, which acknowledge the fairness, accuracy, inclusiveness, boldness, originality, impact, and overall quality of LGBTQ representation in the media. RuPaul's Drag Race Season 13 finalist Gottmik was the one who revealed the nominees on Wednesday. Last Wednesday, by the way. That would be the 20th of... Oh wait, it was the 19th. My
January.
bad. Thank you. It was like the 19th of January. So yeah, Gottmik revealed the nominees via GLAAD's TikTok page. This year's award by coastal ceremony, I should point out, by the way, will be held in LA on April 2nd, and in New York on Friday, May 6th. Now, some of the nominees include Eternals, Pose, West Side Story, Love Victor, The Other Two, Special, Batwoman, Chucky, 911 Lone Star, RuPaul's Drag Race, Legendary, and Star Trek Discovery. Now, in the music category, a few of my faves, I should say, such as K Tronada, Lil Nas X, Halsey, Mickey Blanco, Brockhampton, St. Vincent, and Vincent received nominations. So, like I said, it's going to premiere in LA on April 2nd and in New York on May 6th. It'll be interesting to see who they nominate in regards of whenever they do, like, I forget what they call it, the Cecil B. DeMille Award, I think. Oh no, the Vito Russo Award, that's what it is, because I think Madonna got it not too long ago, and I think they nominated Andy Cohen, and he wound up getting one as well. But I like some of the nominees, especially like with outstanding comedy series, which they have Dickinson on Apple TV Plus, never seen that. Gentefied on Netflix, Love Victor on Hulu, The Other Two on HBO Max. That show is actually funny because that's like based on this little kid who goes viral over a song that he did, and then he has a gay brother and his sister's crazy, and it reminds me of like a lot of these YouTube stars that become famous and that sort of thing. So they have Saved by the Bell over at Peacock, Sex Education on Netflix, Special on Netflix, 20s on BET, Work in Progress on Showtime, And yeah, some of these TV shows, I have to say, is like I'm thoroughly impressed. But I'm trying to get to this reality TV one because I think that would be more like up our alley. 12 Dates of Christmas on HBO Max. Never seen that. Dancing with the Stars at ABC. Family Karma on Bravo. I Am Jazz on TLC. Legendary on HBO Max. The MTV's Following Bretman Rock on MTV. Queer Eye on Netflix. RuPaul's Drag Race on VH1. The Voice on NBC. And We're Here over on HBO. So what y'all think of this list and some of the nominees?
I haven't seen half the shows, so I don't know. I know some of them, but I haven't actually seen almost any of them, except for I think one, The Voice. Other than that, I'm like I'm not familiar with the other stuff. But it's interesting. I want to know when we can get invited to a GLAAD Awards show. I want to be there. That's what I'm interested in.
Okay. But I was looking for the one that they had. I know they had Chucky was nominated too, and I have to say I love that show. So I'm excited for them getting one. It's like outstanding new TV series. So they had the 4400 on the CW. Never seen that. Chucky on the Sci-Fi USA Network. I love that show, by the way. Hacks over at HBO Max. Never seen it, but I've heard good things about it. Then you got Harlem on Prime Video. I do love that show, by the way. It's basically, we'll call it the Black Sex in the City, and one of the characters, one of their friends is a lesbian, a stud, I should say. So there was a vagina eating scene that had me hollering. But besides that, it's a good show. So y'all should check it out, not just for that. The Long Call on BritBox. I don't even know what the hell BritBox is, but okay. The Sex Lives of College Girls on HBO Max, sort of on HBO Max, With Love on Prime Video. Why the Last Man? That was canceled on FX, and Yellowjackets on Showtime, which I know has one of the girls from Scream is in it. The Randy's niece. I forgot her damn name.
Whose niece? Oh,
Randy's niece, the black girl.
Yes, got it. Okay.
Yeah, I'm forgetting names and stuff. Oh, BritBox is like Roku or Apple TV. Okay. But anyway, so I guess congratulations to the nominees. I'm glad that you know this. Yes. What I like about this, even though we may not be familiar with a lot of these shows, because there's a lot of stuff that, you know, so many streaming services, so many regular television channels that's pulling and vying for all of our attention. The one thing I have to say is I love the fact that we do have a lot more LGBTQ representation on TV. I think Pose was also nominated as well. But if y'all want to see the full list, y'all can head over to trub.com. That's trvbe.com. Yes, shameless self-promotion. So moving right along. So there was another, okay, so we talked about this recently about Celebrity Big Brother season 3. And we had a list of the people who were going to be allegedly competing on the season. Now, the first list that we had, they said, you know, this was according to The Sun. It was Scott Disick from Keeping Up with the Kardashians, Jax Taylor from Vanderpump Rules, Survivor's Boston Rob, Flavor of Love star and iconic internet meme Tiffany New York Pollard, and Gay American Idol and congressional candidate Clay Aiken. Now, the funny thing is on the new list, some of them are the same, but then the other list is completely different. So they have New York still on the list, and they have Todrick Hall on the list. But I'm going to read y'all the new list, and then we'll give our opinion on who on the show and who they saying, and if we believe it or we don't. So the rumored cast for, you know, of the 14 celebrities that are going to be entering the Celebrity Big Brother house in February includes Alexa Penavega. I was like, who is Alexa Penavega? But I remember she was in Spy Kids, who married one of the guys from, what is it? I forget his name, but the cute one from that group, that boy band that came out that was on, I think, the Disney Channel. Curtis Stone, who's a celebrity chef and, you know, on TV. Aaron Brady, Hope Hicks, Jillian Michaels, Jerry Traynor, Lamar Odom, Nene Leakes, Neo, Todrick Hall, Tiffany Pollard, Sha'Carri Richardson, Shangela, and Tyler Cameron. Now, besides Tyler Cameron, Sha'Carri Richardson, Jerry Traynor, and I think that's, and Aaron Brady, I don't know who they are, but everybody else, I pretty much know. And it looks like if this list turns out to be true, it seems like this is a real diverse cast of LGBT reality stars. Oh, she's from the Trump child, the Hope administration by child. I remember, didn't they say they was going to have Kellyanne Conway on the first one? And
yes.
but anyway, what do y'all think of the new list? And if y'all believe this, because remember, according to Nene Leaks, this is news to her.
You know, Neo's gonna walk in that house and be like, "Don't scream." It's like, "Scream for what?" Have you seen those memes going around about Neo? It was like, oh, someone got on a plane and they sat next to Neo, and Neo turned and looked at her and was like, "Don't scream," and she was like, "For what?"
Oh
no. I mean, some of them sound entertaining. Like, I know we saw that Nene confirmed that she wasn't gonna do it, but I would love to see Nene on there. Some of the other people who are rumored to be on there, I'm interested to see. It wouldn't surprise me that they put Sha'Carri Robinson because of like the whole her smoking weed Olympic scandal, whatever the case is, and it's like fresh on people's minds. So like, let's throw her on TV. Quiet as it's kept on from that rumored picture, I thought it was Tammy Roman with a bad wig, but I was like, Tammy? Why would they use that picture of her? And I was like, oh wait, no, it's not. But I mean, I've only seen a couple.
I'd like to see Tammy do it.
Oh, Tammy would be great.
I've seen a couple of seasons of Big Brother. Depending on who's on here, if the official cast comes out and there are interesting people on it, most likely I'll watch it and give it a try.
Yeah, because I'm sure by the time this episode airs, like the official list is going to come out, and then we'll talk about it then on the next episode. So, Lindsay, what do you think about this rumored cast? Are you here for it, or are you like,
I don't watch Celebrity Big Brother. That's one of those shows I do not watch. I only watch overseas because of Tiffany being in it, and it became so iconic. But if it's a cast like this where it's a lot of people that I do know and I actually like and I want to see, I'm definitely would watch it. But now that we mentioned like Tammy and stuff, I would like, oh my God, I would replace one of them that I don't know with Tammy, and hopefully they give Nene a big amount of money for her to actually join the show, and this would be a good season to watch, and I would actually watch it.
Yeah, they also said Erica Jane too.
Oh, well, I mean, she needs money, so she would want to go there. I would watch it for Erica Jane too.
We got a week to figure it out, so I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm just looking forward to when this list, the official announcement, so we can get inclination of who's gonna be on the show. But I don't know, because Clay Aiken told me he's running for political office. So I don't know if he's gonna be a part of the show or not. But
he's been running for a long time.
Well, I'm glad he's not tonight.
But if I would hope that Shangela is going to be on the show. I like Shangela. Seeing her in a different light on a different show that's not. I mean, it is a competition, but it's not like you're going to be doing like drag or whatever. So, I mean, although on the one when Courtney Act was on there, she wasn't drag and a lot of when she was on the show. So,
she won.
Shout out to her. So, we'll keep you guys abreast of this Big Brother story as it develops. Either way, when I just want to officially hear who is on there so then I can be like, am I here for it or not? But I think I'll definitely be checking it out, especially since I do have Paramount Plus, and I think it'll be on, they'll put the entire season up there so I can catch it that way because I don't be watching regular TV. But anyway, so let's get to that prelude that we just saw because we're going to talk about Miss Britney Spears. So it looks like Britney about to take her song "Hit Me Baby" one more time, literally, because she's talking about smacking her mother and her damn sister in an Instagram post that she shared recently. So she lashed out against her mother, Lynn, and her sister, Jamie Lynn, in an Instagram post saying, "I'm sorry, Jamie Lynn, I wasn't strong enough to do what should have been done. Slapped you and mama right across your effing faces." And this is what she wrote alongside an image of iced chocolate beverages. Now, early in the caption, Britney explained that to her mind, Jamie Lynn enjoyed an easy adolescence as Britney tours and albums raked in millions for the Spears family, saying, "I flew home to Jamie Lynn on the couch watching her TV shows right after Justin Timberlake and I broke up in my whole life, and I didn't know how to be served by mama. To sit there and get served the chocolate milkshakes with the perfectly crushed ice with the secret chunky sugar. Meanwhile, Jamie Lynn is 12. She indulges with the TV for hours, then goes to lay out on a raft at the pool." Well, of course she could do that. She was on Zoe 101. She ain't had much to do. So she also said that Britney went on to say that she was in shock as this was never her life. And it seems like, and then she said that, and maybe a bit, sarcasm about how Jamie Lynn landed her own TV show, Zoe 101, said, all I remember saying was, damn, how the hell is a 12-year-old land a Nickelodeon show? Mm-hmm. So You know, she's been saying a lot of things and talking about that. I remember, did she also say that she don't know if she's going to be doing a interview or whatever because she's scared of the conservatorship? Like, she's been saying a lot of things, and I know she's been going back and forth. And most recently, I heard that her father is trying to get those medical records of hers unsealed because he's still trying to hold on to this conservatorship. And word on the curb is Britney trying to get millions of dollars from him, saying that he stole from her. So this is a long, crazy battle, and I don't like the fact that we got family members fighting on social media. I mean, it's grist for our mill because of what we do, but at the same time, it's sad to see how this is playing out and how it literally looks like she's surrounded by vultures. Her mother, her father, parents who birth their children, they're supposed to be a caretaker and protect you from the vultures. And when you turn out to be the vultures, that's when it becomes a problem. So what do you guys have to say about this case so far?
I just know my next Instagram post is going to be a picture of a sunset with a cloud and everything, and under it it's going to be like, let me tell you how this messy bitch Lindsay wanted to go ahead and like just start going off. Like,
you know, it's so funny that you mentioned that, because fun fact, the reason why she posted like the milkshake stuff like that, they're subs. It has something to do with whatever the situation has been. So it's funny that you say that, because a lot of people are like, I get what you're saying, that's so great, but what does that have to do with the picture? But, you know, I'm trying to tell people, like, these are stuff, like, anything she is posting, like, you may not understand at first, but if you sit down and really think about it and break down the picture, there are stuff there that's telling you, hey, this is the reference of what she's saying. Now, this little shakes and stuff like that, I think is one of their favorite things to drink, and she never got to have it, but she's saying that I had to work hard for it. It wasn't given to me, yet this girl comes home and she's getting it and blah, 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 taken care of. But listen, Britney is not speaking up any lies. This is something that was coming, and when you poke a bear for as long as you can, this is what happens. And it's funny because earlier this week, you know, the three of us, you know, as we always do, you know, we always talk about the topics that we're doing, and sometimes we talk more on certain topics that it's really affecting us right then and there. We talk more, and I kept saying the other day, this is just the beginning, and this family can go, at this point, I'm not even mad. Getting books, they're making books, signing books, cutting deals. Get it all while you can now, because once this queen comes to court and comes for everybody, none of you are going to be selling anything than a corn dog down at a tailgate party, because that's all you're going to be doing, because she is coming for you. So take advantage now, play the victim now, try to come for your narrative, because this woman is going to speak. And once it's done, and it was funny because we were talking about the interview, and Kris, you did bring up a point saying, oh, she may not do an interview because she's so nervous. I agree with it, but I think within time and coaching and confirmation that people has her back, she will speak. And what I'm saying is, the minute she does this sit down and does this very first interview, as soon as that airs, it is over for every single person that has done her wrong. I'm letting y'all know this right now.
Okay. Jamie Lynn looked like Ted Cruz up and dried.
I was literally about to say that. You beat me to it. Because I was literally about to say that when I was like, I'm going to wait till you're done. Because I said, did y'all see the memes of how they were talking about that they cannot unsee the picture of... Oh, because I said it last week. I was like, I don't know what's going on with Jamie Lynn's face, because it's looking a little crazy. Like, I said she was cute when she was younger. Y'all was like, oh, she's pretty. But now they talking about that she looked like Ted Cruz in a wig. So...
not only
I'm glad
that,
to be once again proven right.
Yeah, not only that, but isn't it crazy how she said herself about Britney holding a knife, going crazy? We didn't get a chance to speak on it because it happened a few days ago, but you know, the video coming to light that it was Jamie Lynn at some freaking Subways or something holding this knife, threatening people. How crazy is it that you manipulated the story saying that was your sister when all along that was you? You did this, girl. What's going on here? It just shows again the lies. You have to be careful with what you're saying. It's coming for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it's coming for her in a form of a cease and desist, which Britney put out. Well, she had her lawyer, her high-powered attorney, I should call it, Matthew S. Rosengart, to send a cease and desist to her sister, saying that, you know, she will no longer be bullied for the supposed benefit of her sister's book sales on what is it? Things I Should Have Said, which I heard the original title for the book was going to be called I Must Confess, which we know is a line or lyric from Hit Me Baby One More Time. So you were literally trying to benefit off the back of your sister from the beginning, but then, you know, she got the backlash, so she changed the name. So in the things that it's, so I'm gonna read you part of it, and then we'll get everybody's opinion on the cease and desist in a second. So it says, "Dear Miss Spears, as you know, I represent your sister Britney Spears, and I write at her request concerning the above reference matter. We write with some hesitation because the last thing Britney wants is to bring more attention to your ill-timed book and its misleading or outrageous claims about her. It says, although Britney has not read and does not intend to read your book, she and millions of her fans were shocked to see how you have exploited her for monetary gain. She will not tolerate it, nor should she." So there's a lot that goes on into it. If you want to read it, I'm sure you guys could Google schmoogle and all that good stuff. But yeah, Miss Thing coming, you know, for that throat. It's like when Michelle Obama famously said, "When they go low, we go high." Britney's great credit. That is exactly what Britney is going to do for the time being. So if she want to go there and you know, take the high road, let her do that. But I'm sure, like you said, Britney is going to get her just due when it comes down to it. So what is her name? Y'all so effing racist went and wrote, because you know EJ's been posting this. But how about your sister's obvious mental illness? Why don't you speak on that? And Jamie Lynn responded, you have, oh yeah, child, oh wait, you done made it small, child. Now I gotta zoom in my face into the screen. I said, "You have no right to assume anything about my sister, and I have no right to speak about her health and personal matters. She is a strong, badass, unstoppable woman, and that's the only thing that is obvious." Well, she said that, but then yet and still, you wrote in your book about your sister's mental illness, and then you say one thing in an interview, and it's the flip-flop, and it's kind of like, you know, pick a lane. Like, what are we doing? So I'm just, it's hard to take you seriously when you playing the whole passive-aggressive victim Karen role when it comes to your sisters. Like you said, when you poke the bear, you can't be surprised how the bear attacks back when you poke them. That's gonna happen. You can't poke somebody and assault them and insult them and stuff and expect you to just sit there and take it. It's like eventually somebody either gonna read you the filth or knock your teeth out.
Yep. Agreed.
Oh, Remy, you have anything to say on this, or y'all want to talk about the cease and desist before we move on to the next topic?
She must have took notes from Maddie. Maddie cease and desist morphosis.
You know, I feel like I'm gonna start doing that. Anytime someone pisses me off, I'm just gonna be sending people cease and desist letters moving forward. We're not gonna do this anymore.
I think everything's coming. It's gonna unfold in time, and I feel like they just keep adding fuel to the fire. So when Britney comes back with her rap, whether it be in an interview, whether it be in a tell-all book, a tell-all album, whatever it is, it's gonna come out. And it's going to come hard, and it's going to affect everyone way more than they fucked with her. Well, they messed with her. Oops.
Okay. So, as we've been saying many a time, because, you know, this story is currently ongoing. It's going to go on and on and on. And we'll keep bringing you more on this story as it develops, because I'm sure this is far from over. And like everybody said, it's like, I cannot wait to the day when Britney drops her tell-all, and we get that biopic, a real one, not that bull crap they put on Lifetime. And I'm looking forward to reading the new book and her doing her first Oprah interview. I will hunt you down. Okay, so moving right along. When I said the Oprah interview, I immediately went to Mariah Carey. So let's move on and talk about Kim Kardashian and this craziness was going on with her and Kanye, who just cannot stop putting his personal business on social media. So things between Kanye and his new boo, Julia Fox, may be heating up, but his relationship with ex-wife Kim Kardashian is looking like it's about as cold as ever. So last week, West dropped a track where he referenced beating Kardashian's current boyfriend, Pete Davidson, up with the following lyric: "God save me from that crash just so I can beat Pete Davidson's ass." I'm like, that's the best you can come up with. But it is this song called Easy that he did, while his girlfriend Julia Fox reportedly provides the ad-lib. Who, I mean, quite as good, we could say the same thing about you, because until recently, we didn't know who the hell Julia Fox was. So that part. So Kanye Kanye went on social media, in case anybody missed it. He was basically in his car. First of all, I don't know how you driving a hole in your phone and going on a whole damn rant, but that's another damn story. You should have got a ticket for that. So basically, he went on social media and started alerting his fans, talking about that he didn't know where his daughter's Chicago birthday party. He was denied access, that he got he threw Travis Scott under the bus, and then he texted him the address, so that he wound up going there. And Kim basically said that she thought he was doing his own birthday party for Chicago and was going to have his own birthday party later. So she didn't know if he was going to be coming and this, that, and the other. And a source close to Kardashian told E! News that West was never not invited to the birthday party, saying that he basically making it up, saying Kim was under the impression he wanted to do his own celebration. She was fine about him coming to Kylie's house and is happy with I should have known it was Kylie's house, because I remember there was a big dollhouse in the background. I remember that from seeing it before. And is happy the kids can see them together. Kim and Kanye are not on good terms right now. She's really trying to keep the peace between them for the sake of the kids. And then Pete Davidson said, even though he beefed up security, and he says for the sake of his fans, whatever, this is according to Radar Online, that he's not worried about Kanye, but he is concerned about the massive fan base that Kanye has, saying that while he's not afraid of, like, first of all, I don't know if anybody's scared of Kanye. Kanye looked like he can't fight worth a damn. So please, and Pete is tall, so I think he could, there with them long ass arms, he could pretty much, take his ass out in a second. Even though I think they both can't fight quite as his kid. But what do y'all think of this story? It's just ridiculous. It's messy. Normally, I don't be caring to talk about Kanye and his rants and his craziness and all this other stuff. But this story was just too juicy to pass up. So I was like, I'm just give a pass.
I mean,
talk about it.
Listen, this is the typical Kanye. It's like he's another one who's a flip flop, another chancleta. Like just a few episodes ago, we were all talking about how he was confessing on one of his shows his love for Kim, and he wants Kim back, and he wants to fight for his family back. And now that you're not getting that, and this is literally what it is, you're stomping your feet like a little 12-year-old girl, like a spoiled brat getting upset because you're not getting your wife back. Now you want to make a diss track and saying that you're finally stepping away. But now you're
on your face.
Yeah, but you're waving a new girl in your face, and the way you're waving her clearly shows you're being thirsty for it. So I think that you're so immature by it, and you're so bothered by it. And I have a strong feeling listen, especially we talked about the Kardashian recently. One thing we got to say, and I think we can all agree, is that their life is an open book. Like, they're filmed 24/7. There's nothing they can hide. Everybody knows. We know stuff before they wake up and know that themselves that something is going on. So I don't think she did not invite Kanye to this birthday. I think he was salty. I think they were just trying to be cautious. Maybe she was like, well, if you come, I'm probably not going to invite Pete, just to not make it awkward for the kids and whatever, and you can come. And I think
Pete's never been to her house. He hasn't been to her house yet.
Oh, hasn't been to her house yet, which I think is good. She probably was thinking, listen, I don't know where you and I are going to be in the future, so I don't want to bring you around my kids, which I think is a really smart move. But my thing is,
I agree.
From what I understand too, I know Kanye did at one point say that he was throwing a birthday party for her. So it's like, if you're hosting a party and it's for the same thing, then I'm assuming you're not going to come, then I'm not worried for you. You understand what I'm saying? So don't change the narrative. Be like, oh, I wasn't invited. I didn't know where my kids were. No, it's just, you said you were throwing a party, then and you don't want to come, then there's nothing else I can do. And that's really what it is. That's what I see. At this point, he's going to go on a rant until... Give him another 6 months until he's over her again, or wants her back again. Oh no, over her again. No. He's gonna want her back again. Like that's what really is right now at this point. It's a joke.
Honestly, I'm just gonna wait to see how it plays out on the new season of this show, because most likely this is all just content for, much like anything that happens with that family. I feel like when major events happen, I kind of feel like it's persuaded in the sense of like, this is good content for this show. Let's keep it going. Like, granted, it's a true event that happened, but like when Kim got robbed, like when all these things, like when Kim and Kanye got together, when she had her pregnancy, when Kylie was pregnant, like a lot of these things fuel the storyline of the season. And like, yeah, we hear about it day to day, but then we get to see how it plays out on TV. So when their Hulu show comes out, whenever it does come out, I'm sure they're filming for it right now, or probably are filming sometime soon. I'm sure we're going to see how this whole thing with Kanye plays out with Kim on that show.
Yeah, and him also saying like, oh well, accusing her of the nannies of basically raising the kids. But I'm like, aren't they your kids too? Like, where you at? I understand.
Right.
And look, and also it's like, okay, so all of a sudden now you're sitting there paying this narrow, and like, don't get me wrong, look, he is more well off than most men, and I know it ain't got nothing to do with money and this, that, and the third, but I get the whole thing about, oh, I'm going to be in my kid's life because yeah, you have the ability to do that. First of all, you're a public figure. Number two, you're married to Kim. And then it's going to look bad if you're not in your kid's life. You the one that decided to move off to Wyoming because you felt that was a good place to make music. I don't know nothing about Wyoming, except didn't they shoot Brokeback Mountain? Wasn't that place out there? But anyway, besides that, it's like, okay, so you living on a big ass farm, and that's when you getting your inspiration to make your music. And Kim wasn't willing to move out there because her brand and everything that she's doing is over in LA. So she's going to continue to do what she's doing over in the West Coast. And I already knew from that it was a wrap on this marriage, because you can't just move and live in 2 different states raising 4 kids. And I understand, like, he's an artist, he's a musician, he needs to be free and this, that, and the other. But once you become a daddy and a husband and stuff, you have a responsibility, to your family and your kids and this, that, and the other, into being the best parent that you could possibly be. And I don't think in any way, shape, or form that Kim would keep her kids out of their father's life. I don't think she would do something like that. So for him to go on social media and do this, because he always has to go to social media like, okay, so what John Q. Public going to do? They're going to go march up in Kylie house and snatch all 4 of the damn kids and bring them to you? Like, what do you expect these people that are watching you on Instagram Live supposed to do in regards to this whole situation? I'm sure you have your soon-to-be ex-wife's number. You could have called her, you could have texted her, you could have left her a bunch of damn messages and reached out to whoever you need to reach to get the information. So while I get, he's a disgruntled husband, father, whatever, you had your opportunity to work out your relationship when you were in the relationship. You didn't want to work it out. You didn't want to compromise. You didn't want to, based off of what we're seeing. So we'll just go with that, because we don't necessarily know everything that goes on in their life and their relationship. But you had every opportunity to make this work. And I've seen, like, ain't Kim a Gemini? Wait, she's not Gemini. No, her crazy ass husband.
Kanye, yeah.
I think her personality is like, she did. Oh, I think she's oh my God, what is she? A Taurus? I don't remember. But with her personality, it seemed like she did everything she could to make this marriage work. And once she checked out, she checked out. And now you're in a situation of, you didn't realize what you had until it's no longer in your life. So she's moved on. She's with Pete. All of a sudden, you want to pick fights with him. This boy ain't breathe your name in his direction since they've been together. But you the one out here looking crazy and looking salty. And what if Kim is smart? She comes from that lawyer background and her with the attorneys. You're giving her enough grist for her mill to, when it comes down to fighting for custody, you out here looking crazy. So them kids, the judge can look at this and be like, partial custody, you get every other weekend, you get the kids, whatever the case is. You don't want to put yourself in that position. So Kanye need to take your medicine, figure out what you're going to do, and take it.
My thing is also, if you're going to talk, definitely, like, if you're coming from an angry place, I get it. If you're going to talk ill of her, then talk ill of her and your relationship with her. But, like, don't change the narrative. I just thought of something that just popped in my head right now that we were talking about this. Don't, especially with the kids, because another thing that they're good at is being good mothers. You know what I mean? And one thing is, they were raised from a split home. You know what I mean? Like, when Robert Sr. divorced Kris, you know what I mean? They were still in both their lives. And if you notice, all of the kids from all sisters, they're all from the same baby father, whether they're with them or not. They still produce more kids with them, and they still, you know what I mean? They may not be cordial, or they try to make it work, or at least, okay with how they are as adults, but the kids are always around. Scott Disick is a good example. Tristan Thompson has cheated on this girl so many times, but you see him with his daughter every other week, like posting like in time, like real life pictures. What's this one? Kylie, she's with, at 1 minute it's gone, then she's not, and I don't know what's going on with them. But now she's having another kid.
I heard she secretly had the baby already. There've been speculation that she had the kid.
Yeah, I heard that too. But going back to this, it's like, it shows that they're all family oriented. So my thing is, like, I don't really think you thinking that she's going to take your kids away, you're not allowed to see your kids, or we have to go to court and we're going to fight it out. Everything's going to be off the safety of the kids, but it's not to take the kids away from you. I don't see that for this situation.
No, I think he's dealing with a double-edged sword, in the sense that he may not be getting the response that he wants to get from her, so he's getting to her the way he knows how. by fucking with her public image, which is what got him in this situation in the first place. So it's like, if he puts out something publicly, whether it's an Instagram live or a diss track or something, eventually they're gonna get their response on social media, or some way, somehow, someone's gonna contact him about what he's trying to get. Like, he's not gonna sit here and do a whole Instagram live about Kim Kardashian, and it's gonna go unspoken of by anybody, or like, it's gonna get back to Kim at some point. So it's like, I think it's more of a desperation tactic.
Yeah, true, but it's so evil because it wasn't it funny for years he's been trying to fight for the support of his wife to be respected. You know, her getting to the mat and to fight. He fight and fought. And now that she's there, now you're not getting, you're so angry. Now you're fighting to break down that image.
Right.
Childish.
Exactly. So, yeah. So we will definitely keep you guys abreast of this story as it develops, because I'm sure there's going to be a lot more coming out of this. But it's like, yeah, Kanye, I'm glad that you are in your kid's life and you care about your 4 children, as you say. We'll go along with it because you seem to be real passionate in that video. But just watch how you got to stop letting your emotions get the best of you, because it's only going to affect you in the long run as well as your kids. You don't want your kids out in these streets seeing you looking crazy, because it's going to affect them. Now, apparently, Madonna is looking to pull Kanye to work on her next album. So there's rumors that, well, I know she's in the studio now and she's been working with Sway Lee and a bunch of other producers. I heard even Honey Dijon. I was like, yes, I live for her. Trans DJ. And they're working on for the 40th anniversary. They said that she's working on a remix album. So we're supposed to probably getting that because, you know, she's back with Warner Brothers. She's not with Interscope anymore. So she has access to the old catalog, which I think is why, you know, with the upcoming movie that she has coming out, the biopic on her life, she now has access to the music, so she can pull those songs and put them in the film and all sorts of stuff. And word on the street is, I heard Julia Fox, who's Kanye's current boo, is in talks to be playing Debbie Mazur, her best friend, in the biopic. So they're looking to her for that. And that was from, the funny thing is, because that was why they said that they were hanging out last week, is that Madonna was looking for, when that video that EJ played, when we did the last when we did a couple episodes ago of Madonna, Floyd Mayweather, and all them hanging out, and then you had Julia Fox was there, so they was talking. There was a bunch of other stuff that was going on with that, and then Kanye with the producing the album saying, was according to The Sun, that she's looking for Kanye to produce her next album, which is rumored to have an R&B vibe, a la her 1994 album Bedtime Stories. So they were seen hanging out, and you know, they worked together before. They worked on The Beat Goes On in 2008, the Hard Candy album. You know, they worked on a couple of songs together. Rebel Heart. You know, my favorite song was Holy Water. Bitch, I'm Madonna. You know, they worked together on a lot of those bops. So he definitely. I know a lot of people saying R&B, but if you listen to those songs, those aren't really like R&B songs. They're a little edgier, and it's got an electronic vibe. So it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be like Bedtime Stories, because Bedtime Stories had a New Jack Swing vibe, kind of like what, you know, Guy and Blackstreet and them was doing in those days in TLC. It kind of had that vibe, but it also had elements of electronica, because, you know, Bedtime Story was written by Bjork and produced by Nelly Hooper. So that was when she started dabbling into the trip hop and the electronica sound that became Ray of Light a couple of years later. So just a little Madonna history for those of y'all out there watching. So with you hearing this and everything, oh, and also just to even add context to this, there's rumors swirling that Lourdes might be playing Madonna in the upcoming biopic. I don't know how I feel about that, but we're in the running. So what do y'all think about all this news, and do y'all want to hear after Madam X? Is this the direction as a Madonna fan? I know Remy's not really a Madonna fan, but you can still chime in. Is R&B which one?
Yes.
You do?
Yes. Listen, Madam X was not my favorite album. It just was not. It was not giving for me. 1 or 2 songs. If I've said this for the last 2 years, I'm like, no. I just really didn't understand. I got the point of where she was coming from. I understood the kind of why she did the music that she did, and the statements and what she was trying to release. But the poems, which is not for me. I needed the music. But I've said it for years, and a good friend of mine, Edwin, would vouch. I've said it for years. Oh, I think we mentioned this a long time ago when we
Mhm.
were like getting to know each other a little bit, and we were talking about the top Madonna's album. I've always said Hard Candy. I love a lot of Madonna's catalog, but Hard Candy with, you know, the Pharrells, the Timberland, the Kanyes, the Justins producing that massive album. I wanted to hear more of that. And Bedtime Stories, again, I also like very R&B-ish stuff. Like I love the
Mhm.
pop music, but when pop music has that R&B soul feel into it, I'm like, oh, it just makes me appreciate the song even more. So when I'm thinking stuff like Miles Away and She's Not Me, I wanna hear that again. So her coming back and making another album, perfectly great. I'm happy. And if it's gonna be in the R&B route, I'm definitely here for it.
Agreed.
But
I mean,
you said Madonna and Kanye, and in my mind, I'm thinking Lady Gaga and Piper, "Do What You Want with My Body."
oh no, not R. Kelly.
No, not no, no,
So
no.
that's where I'm at mentally.
I didn't even
Until I
like
hear
that
it,
song.
then
Although I did
until
like
I
that
hear it,
song.
then I don't know. I don't have an
Nah,
opinion.
I mean, I can tolerate it because they put Christina on it. But back when, but the funny thing is, and I've always kind of been this way, even though I know people who are R. Kelly fans and will still say that, like my sister will listen to an R. Kelly song, and I've gone to barbecue, Step in the Name of Love, everybody doing that crap, and I'm rolling my eyes like, okay, y'all continue
But
to endorse
that's a
that pedophile.
classic song.
It is, and don't get me wrong, he is indoctrinated within the Black community in regards of his music and his influence, but whenever it came to R. Kelly, whenever it was a song that he was on or produced, whatever, I would skip over it. When I listened to that Lady Gaga record, because he was on it, I was not because of all the
Hmm.
information that I was aware
Yeah.
of with him and young girls and allegedly boys over the years
Mm.
turned me off. I cannot separate the artist from what they do in their
Yeah.
personal life.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know some people can do that, but for me, it's like that's always gonna be in the back of my mind. Like if you affecting or hurting people and using your power to sexually abuse or doing all the other stuff, I cannot get behind you in the work that you do. So R. Kelly was canceling me way before all of a sudden it became this trend with that Lifetime documentary. But as
Yeah.
far as like, you know, I think a lot of people don't give Madonna credit for a lot of her production and her contribution to music, especially, you know, the white gays and talking about, we want another Confessions on the Dance Floor. Child, just put the damn record on. I mean, they want another dance record. We're getting a remix
Yeah.
album. You'll get that in the form of the dance record, which she's remixing all her classic hits. And I would love to hear a dance record, but I don't know. It's gotta have a little different vibe. And she's given us dance music over the years. We got
She
that
has.
with what was the album that Girls Gone Wild was on it?
Yes, and
It was
DNA, that was a dance record, Confession Dance or a dance record. You know, then we had more of like the Popish Acoustic, which was like American Life, the music album, then the Ray of Light album. Then we had like the R&B again, going back to our Candy and Bedtime Stories, which, you know, had a lot of also not just we were talking about not just R&B but hip hop influences in that
and her voice
album.
sounds good on R&B songs too. Like
Oh,
I know
1000%.
Madonna may not have the most spectacular voice in the world, and she has admitted that over the times, but she has worked and improved her vocals over the, especially when she did Evita. She worked on her
Mhm.
voice. She took the voice lessons. She took care of her voice. She did all the, you know, the exercise that she needed to exercise, and her voice has, if you've seen her live in concert, it has gotten better over the years. So she learned how to use what she had to work
Take a
with the genre
bow.
of
Take a
music. Exactly.
bow.
That's a classic
That is a classic.
with Babyface. So,
Hmm.
you know, her working with a lot of those, you know, a lot of artists and stuff. It's like I'd be interested in hearing what she and Kanye can cook up in the studio. I don't know if I want a full production thing with him. I mean, I hope she works with other people and other vibes. I did like Crave on the last album that she did with Sway Lee.
Crave. Hmm.
Her voice is sounding good, and I like the production. So I'm curious to see where she's gonna go with the next record because it's been too long. And you know what? I did like Madam X. I did love it. I like, you know, A for Effort and what she was doing with that. And I saw the concert. It was cute, but
The
I was
concert was
bored with it
good.
after a while. Yeah, and it was just it was just too much of the new stuff, and I wanted to hear like how she could incorporate a lot of the classics into that style of what she was doing with the politics and everything, and going to lesbian and all that other mess. But yeah, I'm curious to see where she's gonna go with the next album. I just hope that it's some bops because we need that,
Hmm.
especially after that last record. But so moving right along, let's talk about Shaun T, the gay fitness instructor, who, you know, has done a lot of inspirational workouts, motivational words he puts on his social media. And you know, he's a part of, you know, he created Insanity. Like you had Billy Blanks who did Tybo, he created Insanity, for those of you who don't know. So Shaun married his husband, Scott Blocker, back in 2012. They've tried for several years to become parents. In 2017, they finally became dads to twin sons, Silas and Sander, after 12 earlier attempts with 5 different surrogates. Now, Shaun continues to post videos of himself doing workouts and generally shaking his booty. This sometimes includes goofing around with his hubby or the occasional butt shot to show off his glutes, which I'm here for it. If you've got the body and you in your 40s or a certain age, show your cakes. But apparently people got problems with it. And, you know, they had to let it be known, out of his 1.2 million followers, he had to let it be known that he is, you know, y'all can kiss his ass, basically. So he said, PSA, I'm never going to stop shaking my ass. I'm never going to stop showing my ass, even when it doesn't have the lift. And most importantly, I will never again pretend to be something other than myself to appease the morality police. I came out of the closet at 21 years old, and I'm never going back in to hide anything. And then after that, posted a rainbow emoji. So, yeah, so people are like, just because you have kids, you're supposed to stop shaking your ass. Yeah, I have kids, bitch. And I have a good ass sex life too. That's why some of you out here stop having sex. That's why some of these people be cheating on people. Child, when they go to bed, shut it down. So, look, if you got the stamina, if you got the body, if you want to be out here and you in 40, 50, even when we were just talking about Madonna, if you people coming at her for 63 years old, why you showing your ass, or why you showing your boobs, or why you showing it? Look, the woman works out, and maybe she had allegedly some enhancements, but if you got the coins to get a lift when your butt's starting to sag, because remember that episode of Sex and the City when oh my God, the one ain't on the damn show no more. Kim Cattrall, when she slept, we're gonna sleep with the old man, and then she saw his ass.
And she ran out she wanted them diamonds and them jewels, and she ran
exactly.
Out.
So she saw his sagging cheeks, and she was like, "Oh, no, I'm out." So, what do y'all think about this story? And
yeah, it's
showing you behind.
It screams ages, because just like it just screams that you can't gaga over a 20-year-old Insta model showing off their boobs and think that's correct. But if Madonna and all these other people are toning and showing their body and being free for it, then do it. Like I said earlier, like you can knock me down if I want to show choppas around here. You're not going to tell me no. Now, if you don't like it, don't follow me, or, you know, don't whatever. But don't also exclude me from being able to do something that other people do because it doesn't particularly feed your appetite. So, and that's okay. I just won't be looking for you.
I agree. If you don't like it, don't follow.
Yeah, I'm like, at the end of the day, if you like it, I love it. If you want to flaunt your body, if you want to show yourself on social media, whatever the case is, go ahead. If you feeling sexy, if you feeling, you know, comfortable in your own skin and this, that, and the third, I'm here for it. It's like people, I don't understand that people's overall gripe with people who are comfortable in their skin and they want to show themselves, and people have a problem with it. They're talking about, well, you got kids. How dare you? First of all, why are you even thinking about my kids? Like, that's number one. And number two, my kids ain't old enough to be on social media, Instagram and Facebook. Because if I had a 4, 5, 6, 7, 8-year-old, you're not getting on social media. You're not even getting on it when you're 12. So, because if I'm paying the phone bill, how you gonna get it? So, I don't. So if you feel, like I said, if you feel comfortable in your own skin, then you go ahead and do that. Just like we were talking about a story earlier, that there was a story that came out where a friend of mine who is a manager of a club out in Florida was talking about you know, bodies and people feel like he was being discriminative because he had certain dancers that were auditioning for him, and he would go and say, well, you know, it's great and everything that you want to come dance for us and everything, but your body needs to be a little more tighter, and you need to work out in the gym for about a month, work on your diet, this and the other, and then you can come in and be a part of our company. And people get mad over that. It's sort of like, you know what? If people are having the thing that it is that they want to have, and they're looking for a specific person that they want to go in a specific type, you can't get mad at them for what it is that they like. So I was thinking about on the flip side, because when we talk about people being comfortable in their own skin, you can be comfortable in your own skin, but if you go on and try to jump in and be a stripper at a certain establishment and getting mad because they won't hire you because your body is not tight enough, that's their establishment. If you want to be a go-go dancer or a stripper, then you go somewhere else and you apply to them. That be here for. Because look, we got places that like bears. We got Rock Bar, Mega Wolf, Furball, and the Bear Milk Party. A lot of them, they like all of that. So that's all I gotta say on that. Okay, so what we're gonna do right now, because we just flying through these topics. When we come back, we're gonna take a little break. So I have a story about a gay porn star who was brutally beaten by a group of men out in West Hollywood, and we're gonna talk about things are not looking good for Miss Ellen. And we're gonna talk about Jersey Shore's Nicole Palizzi, who is fighting with Andy Cohen over some stuff that's going on with them over at Bravo. Apparently, she wanted to be a part of the New Jersey. There was rumors that she was going to be a part of Jersey Housewives, and he's got problems with, he don't want her being a part of the show. So we're going to talk about that and them going back and forth on that whole bit. So let's take ourselves a little break, and we'll be right back with more Drinks and Drag.
And thank you for choosing Philippine Airlines. What? Oh, you want me to say it in Filipino too? No. I can totally do it. Yeah, sure. Good evening, everybody. Kumusta ka? Salamat for choosing Philippine Airlines. We will be arriving in Manila in 3 hours. Please make sure you put on your seatbelt over there. It's on your seat over there. Look where I'm pointing. My God.
Well, hey, everybody. Welcome back to Drinks and Drag. Let's bring it on our panel as we get into these topics and things of that nature. So, wait, was that so with that video and everything with the voguing, was that a chop? Because I don't know what she was doing.
I like that.
It was cute. I live for faces. I live for a bitch track. She was like the Maddie Morphosis of ballroom. But
yeah.
It's the Cohen good for me.
Have y'all heard about this question? Have y'all heard about this oh my God, the new Fresh Prince of Bel-Air reboot?
No.
I heard about it, and it's supposed to take like a more serious turn to it or something.
Yeah, there was a fan-made video or something. I think a guy posted where they did like a more dramatic version, so it's not a comedy. And Will Smith, I think, saw it and decided to develop the idea. And I was like, okay, well, I mean, I think that is, even though the first one was a comedy and then you bring this into the new forefront, I do think it could work because it's basically somebody coming from West Philadelphia was in a bad neighborhood and getting, his mother needed some guidance. So let me send him out to Bel-Air with his aunt and her husband and the kids and these bougie kids. But apparently the cast has been revealed. And they said Karrueche Tran, Dwayne Martin, Joel Holt, April Parker Jones, Shavonte Hart, Scotty Thompson, and Charlie Hall will appear in the first season of the show. This is according to Deadline. They will join Jabari Banks as Will, Adrian Holmes as Philip, Cassandra Freeman as Vivian, Ali Shalatin as Carlton, Coco Jones as Hillary, Akira Akbar as Ashley, Jimmy Akinbola as Jeffrey, Jordan L. Jones as Jazz, and Simone Joy Jones as Lisa. So it'll be interesting to see how this show turns out, but I just want to bring it up real quick.
Okay.
But also,
I recognize one name.
We'll ask J Lo's manager if this is the correct route he wants the show to go.
Yeah, I heard that they changed the way they did the game on Paramount Plus. I haven't watched that yet. There's so many damn shows that I'm trying to catch up on. Like, I'm just so happy that they just renewed Squid Game, even though we knew that was coming anyway. So,
I don't know why.
Oh, you didn't like it?
No.
Like, no.
and I didn't see it, so.
Oh, I mean, it was cute for what it was. I enjoyed it, but I wanted to throw this out here real quick. So y'all heard the tea about Salt Lake City and this recent racistness that's coming out with that?
Yes.
Ooh, let's jump into that real quick because I'm realizing like the show is a little short. So
I don't think so. But we can talk about it. I don't think so. With the topics, we can stretch it. But add this one. This one is good.
Yeah. So Meredith Marks is the first Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast to seemingly react to cast member Jennie Nguyen's racist social media post. Now, in the wake of the controversy, Meredith tweeted out a single word, saying that it's vile. Now, according to Page 6, when a fan asked her to elaborate on her thoughts, Marks claimed that she has to keep quiet at the moment. Okay. Not allowed right now, but yes, I have a lot more to say about many things, and I will, Marks assured the fans. So far, Marks appears to be the only one of her co-stars to address Nguyen's past posts. Now, for those of you who need a little context, Nguyen came under fire recently after dozens of controversial social posts appearing to promote White Lives Matter. Resurfaces me, of course, here, another Asian girl thinking she white. The reality star allegedly posted and reposted several memes and photos amid the Black Lives Matter protests over a 6-month period beginning June 2020. Nguyen addressed the controversy in a statement released recently, saying, I want to acknowledge and apologize for my deleted Facebook post from 2020. So that was real recent. That resurfaced today. Right. Nguyen wrote on Instagram, at the time, I thought I was speaking out against violence, but I have since learned how offensive and hurtful. Girl, you saying that because your ass is on a reality show and you trying to keep your damn job. It's why I deactivated that account more than a year ago, because you were on The Real Housewives, and why I continue to try to learn about perspectives different from my own. I regret those posts, and I'm sincerely sorry for the pain they caused. Now, Page 6 visited the account Nguyen had posted on Wednesday afternoon, and it had not been deactivated. So she lying. And then added the hashtag hate is a virus and disabled her Instagram comments because she didn't want that smoke. Now, Bravo Nguyen nor the other Real Housewives of Salt Lake City cast members, surprise, surprise, have not returned Page 6's request for comment. So I know they just didn't they just wrap up the reunion? I mean, even though it's not on yet, like, there's been a lot of drama with the reunion. One of the cast members didn't show up. Andy's mad about that. Now he need to do a bonus episode. He probably did a 3-part. Andy, get her on the line and do a 4th.
It's a 4.
Be the one out. 4. Oh, it is. Oh, so well, he needs to do a 5.
Which a lot of people don't understand why.
Especially because it needs to have 4 parts.
Yeah, a lot of people don't think it needed a 4-part.
Probably not. So what do y'all think of this story? Because this is like fresh with that came out with this whole story with Salt Lake City.
I think this is more like of an apology, not because I'm sorry, but more of an apology because I got caught.
Absolutely.
Like, just because you deactivated the Facebook post doesn't mean that the posts aren't out there. I saw a handful of the posts. They're like Blue Lives Matters posts. They're like, oh, we're removing To Kill a Mockingbird due to the use of the N-word. How many rap albums are going with it? And like, comparing Black Lives Matter protesters getting killed to officers getting killed by rioters, and saying that alluding to their lives being more important than those who are protesting. And I'm just like, this is not anything that happened in the early 2000s. This happened literally like in the blink of an eye ago, because 2021 was a blur. So right before you started filming this season that is currently airing on TV, what you posted these posts. So I'm here for her getting her job revoked. I'm not here for the crocodile tears and the apologies. Dock her pay if you need to, but like, I don't think that she should return for next season. There's like a major cultural insensitivity, and I don't think that I don't think that I don't think that it's genuine, her apology to me.
I agree.
Heard.
Absolutely. Everything you literally said was like gold, because I feel the same way. Like, she's not sorry because she's sorry. She's sorry she got caught. And thank you, EJ. You were quick, because I just pulled this story up, and he was already ready with one of the posts that she retweeted. Talking about, those are the protest, how many of the protesters she hit and all this other stuff. Like, you posted stuff that's clearly discriminating against a group of protesters who are crying out discrimination. And if anybody know about discrimination, it should be you, because honey, aren't you Asian? Like, there was a recent thing that was going on in media where they were talking about that Asian people were being brutally attacked by white people and some black folks and this, that, and the other. So there's been a rise in Asian hate crimes. I remember Simu Liu from Shaun T was talking about it, and a bunch of other people. George Takei's been talking about it. Like, if anybody should be able to relate to this story, should be her. And I'm sick and tired of these so-called, some of you coloreds like her, who align yourself with the white narrative, thinking, oh, if I align myself with certain people, then they're gonna love me and they're gonna welcome me with open arms. No, they still looking at you as you all the racial things that they think in their mind in regards to Asian stereotypes. So it's like,
I don't understand how that turn around and use the fact that they're a person of color, quote unquote, when it benefits them.
Exactly. So she's trash. She needs to be chopped. And we'll see what happens if Andy is going to speak up on this, or, he thirsty for ratings. He's going to probably keep her around. But I don't think like
her storyline was fake anyway. Quiet as a cat.
Okay. So, adult performer Cole Connor was attacked and mugged by a group of men early Sunday morning in Hollywood. So Connor, who appears on OnlyFans and in Falcon Studio Productions, took to social media to share the details of the hiring event. Thank you, Queer T, for this news. So I'm going to just tell you what happened. So Connor says he was going to fetch his ID from a friend's car when the attack took place. So basically what happened was he was on his way to a party, and he didn't realize where he had to go, because, a lot of time when you go to the clubs, you have to have proof of vaccination ID. So then when he went to go present it, he realized his ID had fell out of his pocket. So he went back to the car and went to go retrieve it. So he saw that it was in the front of the seat or whatever. So he went to go open the door. He said upon reaching the vehicle, the men insisted it was their car because they were standing in front of the car. And he went to open the door, and then they went and attacked him. Now, in the video posted shortly after the attack with the slogan, "Stage 1 is getting over bad-ish that happens to you," sarcasm. He says they thought it was their car, so obviously when I unlocked it with the keys that my friend gave me and opened the door, they totally should have attacked me and almost killed me with a bat. I would have done the same thing. And I said, not my prettiest picture, but I'm okay. And then posted a bunch of other stuff. So this is crazy. So my thing was, he said his phone has been replaced already. Cards and wallet will be replaced, and they robbed him. And he also said he was trying to run away, but I think his calf muscles, I guess, when that adrenaline hits, you start pulling muscles and this and the other. He said it gave out, so he fell and this all this stuff. So if y'all out in West Hollywood or whatever the case is, I have heard that there's been a rise in gay hate crimes, and I've been hearing a lot of these stories. We don't talk about it much on the show, and I haven't been talking about it, but you know what? With a rise in trans hate crimes that's been going on, there's been a rise in gay hate crimes as well, especially around Pride season. That's like something we definitely need to worry about. So when I heard this story, I was like, this is definitely something we need to bring to the show, because it's about somebody within our community getting attacked. So I don't know. What do y'all think about this story?
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Something
like that is still happening in 2020.
Yeah. So. It's crazy. And I mean, it's so much worse. Not that we should disregard him, but it's so much worse for, so many people out there who is not announcing it. Unfortunately they can, or they're killed. And like you said earlier, like especially trans or people of color, especially being gay, a person of color, and being trans, is like, you can get hurt out here, and it's so terrible, the hate that's being spilled and it's being attacked for us. And I don't know. I just don't feel that enough is being done. You know what I mean? Especially like you mentioned, like gay pride and stuff like that. Yeah, we have it once a year and we march and we rally together, but we have to do more than just wait till the last Sunday of June to rally up and get shit together. Like we have to do way more than that. We have to have more of an allegiance with, security, with police, with the law enforcement that's in our city and everyone's city. You know what I mean? The community, the board, the businesses. Like we have to be extra cautious with what we do. I know the clubs is not responsible for real estate, but double check. If you're in a place that is not so friendly, you might want to double check the time frame you want to stay open, or the way you're pouring drinks or something. Just to be a little cautious. You're not responsible for everyone and anyone, but there has to be ways we are a bit smaller. I know me, for example, I'm the type of person that I go out, but when I go out, I never leave alone unless I'm literally getting in an Uber and I'm out. But, Remy, or when I've hung out with you, if we're going out together. And if I'm hungry, then we're going out to eat together. Or if you want a slice of pizza, I'm walking with you. Even if I'm not going to eat the pizza, I'm walking with you. There's been many of times where, Remy lives all the way in Brooklyn, but there's been times just for the matter of walking, Remy would walk me literally to my building, and then either he's hopping an Uber on that bike and he's riding his way back home. But it's those kind of things we have to be very cautious, because things like this is so dangerous. Like, it's sad. And if you never experienced that type of issue where, let's say you didn't even get hurt, just an assault, if you've never been in a predicament where you got worried for your life for 5 seconds, you may not take this too serious. But I've had many friends who's been assaulted and bad things has happened, and it's scary to hear. And I hope, knocking on wood right now, that doesn't happen I don't want it to happen to anyone, but hopefully no one that I know personally or myself gets into these kind of situations.
Exactly. Yeah, and I can bear witness to that. Like, yeah, there have been times it's like, okay, when we've gone out and we leave the club or we leave a bar or whatever, we do definitely walk each other to where we gotta go. Or when we leave, I'm making sure you got in your cab, because I know you love taking the cab. You don't be getting on the train. So I will sit and I'll wait until you have your cab, and when you go, I take my behind to the train, or I grab an Uber or do whatever. And then so that's why I always say, like, even when you're out having drinks, and I don't even think he had the chance to have a drink yet. He was on his way to go in the club. It's like, yes, if you're going to be out in a group setting, make sure that you take somebody with you. I know people get comfortable based on the area that they're in or where they live or the neighborhood, because you're in a gay neighborhood, that, you feel that, I'm comfortable and nothing's going to happen to me. There are people that literally will come to out in LA, out to West Hollywood or certain places, and will seek out trying to mug and beat up people, especially if you're under the influence of alcohol, because you can't defend yourself or you're by yourself and they jump you. People don't fight fair out in these streets anymore. When I was growing up, it was always one-on-one. Now everybody, 7, 8 people want to jump one person, somebody beat your ass. You call that fair? But anyway,
right.
But then or there. But then, like in New York, we have issues where they were talking about rising crimes going on in Hell's Kitchen. And then you have, Chelsea ain't what it used to be anymore. Yep, so there's barely gay out there. Everything is, all the bars are closed except for what? Boxers is what's left. And then you have Rebar. Those are only 2 that's left. That's in Chelsea. And then you have the West Village. There's a couple of staples there. We got Stonewall, the Monster, Rock Bar, all those other little mini bars that's still there. But it's like, if we're in our areas, like you said, walk with a friend, be aware of your surroundings, and don't take being the fact that, okay, I'm gay and I can hold hands in this neighborhood for granted, because there's always going to be somebody out there, and it's sad. We can't be who we are, and you can't be free because you got people out here that, want to be stupid and attack people.
Agreed.
Okay, so shout out to him, and hope he has a speedy recovery. So Jersey Shore star Nicole Snooki Polizzi is putting Bravo boss Andy Cohen on blast for allegedly banning her from joining the cast of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. which is about to start up soon, by the way. The 34-year-old called out the franchise executive for being so aggressive about not letting her into the fold. So now basically what had happened was after Real Housewives of New Jersey star Melissa Gorga claimed on her podcast that Andy refuses to even consider letting her friend and fellow reality star Snooki join the Housewives cast, the Jersey Shore star herself has responded. Now, during the latest episode of Danny Pellegrino's Everything Iconic podcast, the host asked if she and Andy were even on good terms right now after hearing what Melissa had to say. Now, Snooki admitted she thought that their relationship was just fine until he was adamant about his ban on her joining Jersey Housewives, sharing on the show. I always had a good time with him, and we would go on his show and stuff like that. But ever since people bring up me being on the Housewives, he's just like, not a chance, not happening. Now, she was wondering if she did something wrong to make him seemingly dislike her so much, and said that while she has no interest in being on Jersey Housewives anyway, she doesn't feel like there's a rift between her and Andy, and she's not allowed to be part of something. So she said, I don't want to be on the Housewives because it's not my thing. Like the drama and legal-ish, I'm just here to have wine and go home, which is, I guess, why Remy was telling me she's back on, she's on Jersey Shore. Oh,
yeah.
We playing. Is that Tammy Brown in the background? But anyway, so this story, is a lot going on with this. What do y'all think about Andy showing his ass yet again?
It's funny because I think she said also on Melissa's podcast, or when it was questioned, when she was talking, she was saying like, "Oh, that probably explains why I'm no longer invited to the Watch What Happens Live," because she said she hasn't been there in a minute. She said it's been a couple of years that she hasn't been on the show. I think she said it was like 4 years, something like that. And like, you know, now that Jersey Shore has come back again, like the family reunions and whatnot, she doesn't get asked to be on that show. So that kind of explains it. I'm just so surprised that, no, I take it back. I don't think I'm surprised that Andy doesn't want Snooki. What's crazy is I personally think she would bring the ratings. We were just talking about this earlier, where it's like, you know, she took a season off from the family reunion show, and literally the last season was somewhat of lower rating than any of its seasons prior to it. And I feel like when she left the show, I've already heard that a long time ago that they were thinking of putting her in Housewives. I feel like I've had this conversation with somebody, but I've definitely heard it. And I was thinking maybe that's why she left. She said the show was so toxic for her, so she wanted to leave. And I think she was just trying to groom herself to get ready, set yourself up to the Housewives franchise. Now that she doesn't have it, I'm assuming she went back, because my thing is like, why would you go back to something that's so toxic? But with that being said, it's like, I think Annie just doesn't want her because Snooki's one of those people and one of those celebrities who's like, she doesn't really need the show. So she's like, I don't need to follow your rules. It's not going to be what you say. You know what I mean? Down to the payment and how I want to be filmed. And that's probably another reason why he's like, hell, fuck no, I don't want her on this show. You know what I mean? And it's a little bit of a stupid move from his perspective, but I also feel like he wants to be daddy Andy, and like pull his thumb behind all the women's necks and be like, listen, I control you. And look what happens. Like, whenever somebody other than Bethany, because for some reason she's the one who gets away with everything, but other than Bethany, you know, when someone steps out, whether it's the Nenes, the Lisa Vanderpumps, you know what I mean? It's like now Portia, Monique from Potomac, like they leave and they still have these, you know, they're not fired or anything. They just leave. They were like, you're not going to do what I say, so I'm running out of here. You know, he wants to disown them quickly and continue on to show. And if they ever come back, it's going to be on my terms. And I feel like it wouldn't work like that with Snooki, because Snooki is not going to bite that.
I personally don't think Snooki would fit the mold of a housewife of New Jersey, solely because she works for Jersey Shore, because we've seen her from the 21, 22, 23-year-old, whatever she started there, and grow. And she built this dynamic with the family that she roommates with and everything. We've seen that. We've grown to love Snooki for her personality, for her fuck-ups, for her drunkenness, we loved her for that character. Taking her and putting her into Housewives of New Jersey, which is more of a family kind of dynamic as well. She's the outsider coming in. I feel like she would get along with the B cast, like the Jennifers, the
Yes,
Jackies, but not with
agreed.
like Teresa, not with
No.
the Dolores, not with the maids.
Right.
And I don't think that to me, I feel like if she were to go on that show, they would kind of look down on her because she's like this outsider coming in, like she's known for being a certain way, and she doesn't. Granted, nobody on that show is better than anybody, but I think they're gonna hold their noses above Snooki because of what she's been shown on TV as before. So I don't think that will fit for her. It'll be a good storyline for her in a sense, like in a group dynamic, but I don't know. I don't honestly see it.
That is so funny you said that because I was just thinking like if she was to join the show, I feel like the people she'd be friends with would be like, well, definitely Melissa because she's literally friends with her, but then Jennifer and Margaret, I would see it, and Dolores is but I would also feel like Snooki gives me the personality that she is and the fact that she knows how to handle drama and she knows when to walk away when she doesn't want to. She would be a perfect fit because right now Jersey needs somebody like the Dorinda Medley. They need someone like the Dorindas or the Candies who is like in between everybody because she can throw a little bit of jabs, or like the Sonia Morgans who the fans love. She can be really fun. They need to bring a little more comedic element to the show. Everyone can maybe not be best friends because they'll have their nose up high on her, but at least they'll tolerate her and be nice to her because she will be nice back. But she will be like the Switzerland. Because I feel like at one point it was Dolores, but over the years, as much as I love Dolores, I feel like she's always kissing Teresa's ass, and whatever Teresa say, she will say. She will say, "Oh no, behind closed doors." I let her know. I hate when people say behind closed doors.
Well, honey, you got cameras on you. I need you to say it on camera.
Right,
Stop saying behind closed doors because we don't believe you.
There's a difference. There's definitely a difference between best friends or co-workers or someone like the relationship that we have. You know what I mean? We will not embarrass each other or spill each other's secrets amongst someone else. Yes, but if one of us is acting a damn fool, you're gonna be like, you may not yell or go crazy, like, girl.
Real friends call people friends call real people out on their real ish. And Dolores always, to me, seems like someone who is a yes person to Teresa, and Teresa to me likes those type of people around her. Are we gonna get more into that when we do our special Real Housewives of New Jersey episode? That's gonna be coming up soon when we have to when we're gonna break down like everything that's going on with the new season that's coming up and the previous seasons and give our thoughts on that. But I definitely agree with everything you guys said. I would, while I would like to see someone like a Snooki on Real Housewives of New Jersey because it would show a different side of herself, especially since she and Melissa are neighbors. It would be nice to see, okay, what's she up to and watching her raise her sons, and I think she has a daughter too. I forgot. I think she has like 3 kids, right? So she has, raising the kids, and then Gianni with his career and what he's doing, unless he don't want nobody getting the inclination on his coinage. So we may not want to do that because
can I tell you?
But
can I say real quick? For years and years, I'm still gonna say it. Gianni is the cutest little nugget I want to bang.
He really is.
Ever since
that big old butt.
Yes, I'm like, yo, you're like this big, but this butt is like this. Man, it goes crazy. Remy's like, no, I didn't see it for him. I don't see it for him. He's a cutie though. I always thought he's a little bit of a douchebaggeryness, but
but that's that Jersey Guido thing. Like I said, I grew up around a lot of those Paulie G types.
I know. But yeah, with the Snooki thing, that's why I feel like Dolores has lost that Switzerland, that Sonia, Dorinda, the Candies of the world. I feel like she would be the fresh blood, new blood, to be that person. And who knows, over the years or two, switch it up, and then next thing you know, she'll be head to toe with someone like Teresa.
If she stayed that long.
True, no lie. Yeah, if she even makes it and stays longer than a season,
they could give her that Kim Fields editor. She'll come in for one season and never come back.
Yeah, I just don't understand. Like Andy doesn't, but I mean, I do get it because you explained it, and I do agree that that's what that is because Andy's personality is very much like even though while he created the Housewives and he's giving these women the opportunities, he feels like he is the the HBIC of the Housewives. that he is the true Von Dom queen of all the queens, and he owns them and he wants to have control over them. And Snooki is coming from somewhere else into this franchise. Well, like I said, like while I would love to see her be a part of the franchise because it'd be great to see a different side of her outside of what we've become accustomed to with Jersey Shore. And it would be a cute fit or whatever, and we see how she would go. But like based off Andy's personality, I can't see it happening because to me, Snooki looks like the type of girl that cannot be easily controlled. So
correct.
That's definitely not going to work. So, our final topic of the evening comes from Ellen, who just can't seem to get a break. So, following the cancellation of her long-running talk show, The Ellen DeGeneres Show, after allegations of a toxic work environment surfaced throughout the summer of 2020, the funny lady has sustained yet another career blow. So, NBC has just announced it will end her game show, Ellen's Game of Games, after 4 seasons. Now, Deadline reports that Ellen's Game of Games, was debuted in 2017, lost a major portion of its audience last year. Though the trade website doesn't offer a reason behind the ratings drop, we'd be remiss not to notice that it coincides roughly with those allegations of nasty on-set behavior made against DeGeneres and other members of her production team. Now, following the explosive accusations, DeGeneres offered an apology to the staff of the Ellen DeGeneres Show. Still, NBC opted not to renew her contract, therefore indicating that the 2021-22 season would be the talk show's last. So, honestly, I've never seen Game of Games. Word on the curb is they're talking about reviving it, but I guess somewhere else. And all that good stuff. You know, I used to like Ellen back in the day, and I thought, like, based on that image, she was Miss Host or whatever. We should have known that was on that. And, you know, she seemed relatable and this, that, and the third, but then all these accusations came out, and I think it hurt her in the end. And now she just can't seem to get a break. So I gagged when I heard the story. But what y'all think?
It was to be expected. Yeah. It's to be expected. Like, to think that only one piece of her work was going to be affected by this because these were the people who were directly affiliated with the show is, like, a little outrageous. Like, it's not just about what happened on the set of that show. It's about Ellen's character and how she handled it and everything. And it came from her. So I wouldn't expect it if she came out with a Netflix special if it didn't do well. If she came out with something else that didn't do well.
Yeah.
The people have kind of like come to this consensus that Ellen is not, she's canceled. Like, cancel culture got her. And I kind of like Game of Games. I've seen like an episode or two. I will not binge watch 4 seasons of it.
No, I agree. And I feel like anything, even if she was producing a movie or she was working on a specific brand, I think because of what's happened, she is going to lose all of it. So maybe the show, not that the show was not good, which is why they're probably thinking, okay, we're still going to hold on to the show, but maybe produce somewhere else and buy it off of her, have a different production company run the game and successfully do it well. But yeah, Remy hit it right then and there. It's whatever. Right now, it's just the Ellen show and the game that she's doing. But anything else she would have had, the Netflix special or anything else that was coming down the line, they might as well just pipe it out and not do it because she's just damaged in the sense of her character is damaged. And it's just like, you know, your brand was being a wholesome person, caring for everyone, you know, literally making it your business to protect everyone and be there for everyone and respect everyone, but you wasn't even doing it in your own home. And because you wasn't doing it in your own home, you are painted to be this terrible person. So it's gonna suck. And you know, like in the beginning when this first happened, I always did say, you know, I do feel bad for her because, you know, it's harder to manage an entire team. I get that 100%. But as the months has passed by and more stories that I hear and stuff like that, you know, I'm just thinking in my head, you know, you may not be able to, because you know what, I was thinking like from a managed perspective, you know what I mean? I can only do so much, but I cannot worry about the 40 employees. It's impossible. There's none of us can say we have hands down protect all 40 people. So exactly. I was thinking in that aspect, but then as I was talking to more people about it and throughout the months and reading more stuff, it's like, it's not that you have to protect and defend everyone, let's say all 40 people. It's what are the outlets though? Like, are you listening to your HR calls? Are you reading those emails that are being sent from someone being upset with your behavior? Are you allowing people to call you out saying, hey, this is unprofessional? Are you doing your evaluations and your yearly reviews? And if you're not doing anything and you're turning a blind eye to stuff, then yes, you are as guilty and you're just as bad, and you are a hypocrite. I can't walk in to my job and be like, I care for everyone, I mean well for everyone, but I don't do one thing that shows any type of proof that I did everything. Because what you're doing is giving $10,000 to, you know, a lady who lost her house and she rescued 4 dogs and her kids and one of them can't see. Like, that's a sad story. Yes, we want to hear it, but you're giving that to that person for the world, the country to see, but you're not doing that in your own back house. It's just mind-boggling to me, and it says a lot about your character. It does. It tears everything. Like, I see her, and I never wanted to try to fight it, only because she's done so good. But my thing is, yeah, but the bad also outweighs the good at times, and what you're doing behind the scenes is not okay. It's just not okay.
Exactly. Because I was thinking, I was like, you know what? Like, you all hit the nail on the head, especially when Remy brought up, it's like, you know what? It's your brand was solely on, you know, being relatable, wholesome, middle America liked you. You were the safe lesbian. Like, you weren't that stereotype that heterosexuals think about when it comes to homosexuals. So you can go into middle America and they like you because you're not scary and this, that, and the third. So when they come to find out that this whole image of you on cameras, you're relatable and you're wholesome and you're nice and da. Same thing what happened with Rosie O'Donnell. She was labeled the queen of nice during her heyday in daytime talk. And then she went on The View, and that kind of just went downhill from there. Yeah. And then there were certain things that she would say about certain people in the media and her fight with Donald Trump and blah, 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 so on and so forth. And then it kind of tarnished her image a bit. So now, but everybody kind of, I guess, but it's not on the same level as Eleanor. It seems like Rosie didn't get it as bad as Ellen's got it now, whereas Ellen's always kind of been squeaky clean and politically correct and that sort of thing. So I think that affects her in a lot of ways. And once that has come out where you've not been aware, or you've kind of been a Karen when it comes to a lot of issues that have been going on within your wheelhouse, now you can't come back from that. So people are like, oh, this wholesome image that was you wasn't really you. So now I can't get behind anything that you're doing. Well, at least if you're on camera. Like, she can, at this point, just trickle behind the scenes and just produce and develop projects. But as far as seeing her headline something, like what you were saying before about a Netflix special, yeah, I mean, unless she's got like a hardcore group of fans, I don't see people supporting that. So it's unfortunately that this is what her legacy has become.
You know what's so crazy? I just thought about this too. About all the people who's probably laughing at her, all the people that were banned in her show. Because remember, you were banned if you, which in certain things makes sense, but if you were homophobic or you were nice enough, or like those stand-up comedians, a lot of times they weren't invited because she didn't understand their jokes, or she thought it was off-brand. It's so funny that
meanwhile she had Kevin Hart on her show
because he apologized. Remember that? I'm like, don't be
if you want to call it that, but yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. But how funny is that she because she's the good, but she was allowed, I guess, not by me, but she's allowed by the audience, the viewers, because she is a nice person. Usually the nice person wins. You know what I mean? If you're an asshole, I'm really nice, and I'm trying to say something, people are going to want to listen to me more than listen to you because you're such an asshole. But it's like, how crazy is that you're banning all these people because of their brand, and look at what you're doing. Your brand was based on a lie, because if you really meant everything you're saying, none of this would be happening for you.
You'd be on season 6 of Game of Games.
Hosted by us.
Okay. So on that note, I want to thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Drinks and Drag, 13 episodes down. Yes. So yes, follow us at the bottom. All our Instagram handles, follow the Drinks and Drag show Instagram as well. Click like, subscribe, share, leave your comments, all that good stuff. Once again, thank you all for watching, and until next time, ciao, darlings. Love you all for watching. Where did everybody go? Is everybody here? Am I alone?
Lynne!
Charlie, y'all told me to rap and